cavalcade of steam's great might presents to us a wondrous sight of engines now resplendent made from years of harbouring in the shade. They came from yard and field or wood, and in their twilight silent stood, with rusting motion and boiler cold. It was for scrap that they were sold. Then in the summer's sweltering scorch, their end it was the burner's torch. But some from this grim fate were taken, the slumbering giants gently awakened. With lavish care from owners new, they are but now the chosen few, that represent a lost great power, which we present to you this hour. For these are the engines of an era long past, built by the men whose skills were the last. They made them strong, to give of their best. In aging years, they do not rest. They still drive on, with fiery soul, and beating heart that scorns control. With burnished limbs of shimmering steel, and throb and pulse of circling wheel. With shining paint and polished brass, all other machines they did surpass. But for all this grace and beauty, they will make foreman's duty. Hauling with ease the team's former loads, up and down the country's roads. Others were the sons of soil, from ploughing and threshing they eased the toil. Then came the showman with engines so grand, each thought his the best in the land. Yet with brass and electric light, there came the strength to move the sight. This was part of their calling to man. But what of the homes where they began? Charles Burrell of Thetford, the true Norfolk breed, while Ransoms and Garretts were Suffolk seed. Next came Lincoln, its four famous sons of Roban, Clayton, Foster and Ruston. Marshals of Gainsborough in that same shire, they made engines for all to admire. Then, in Cheshire, the land of salt, Fodens were built with never a fault. But with pride, the county of Salop made their sentinels go with a gallop. Further north, in the city of Leeds, Fowler and the Clarence sufficed the needs. From the Garden of England, a prancing horse, Avery and Porter ran the course. Wallace and Stevens, with sprightly 5-ton, Taskers nearby would give it a run. These are a few of the famous breeds, all working the purpose of man's needs. And now to you this hour we bring these engines for their praise to sing. With shrieking whistle and vapour cloud, their aim is now to please the crowd. So let us salute these machines from the past, built by the men whose skill was to last. They made them strong, to give of their best. In aging years, they do not rest. Can you just... Right, could we have Lorraine Davis? Lorraine Davis to rally control immediately. The control box by the coordinator box with secretary, please. Lorraine Davis, please. Lorraine Davis to rally control. Well, there we are, everybody. The annual parade of steam engines here at Onslow Park. Just wanted to try and sort my volume out a little bit. I'm moving. I think you agree that, as ever, this is the most stupendous display of steam power that you will see in the Midlands, if not the UK. So, rather than read through the programme, I will do as I did last year. If you were here last year, I'm going to walk around the arena and describe the engines that we can see as I talk about them. So rather than read through a programme and you think, what's he heard is he talking about? I'm going to look at some of the engines as they park up around the arena. So we began our parade with the fantastic Showman's engines. They were built for driving the rides and pulling the rides from fairgrounds around the country, from the 1880s, 1890s through to the 1950s. The last Showman's engines were used in the 1950s, places like Birmingham Onion Fair, Mott Fair, and one of the last owners was Pat Collins of Bloxwich in Birmingham, direction or Black Country, West Midlands. So these engines were made to pull heavy loads. So they're big, powerful road locomotives, but they also have a thing on the front called a dynamo. It's like an electric generator, so that was to power the rides themselves. So it's a mobile generator as well, so the electricity is there. You'll see these engines, some of these engines later this afternoon, back outside the fairground, doing the job they were made to do. So that generator there makes electricity to power the rides, like the Dodgers, the big wheel, and all that sort of stuff, the aeroplanes, cakewalk. But it also provides electric lighting. So bear in mind, in the 19th century, early 20th century, electric light was something really exciting. In fact, Paul and Bosco's Electric Coliseum, electric was one of the marketing tools that they used to say, this is modern, this is great stuff. In fact, there's a couple of Showman's engines you won't see in our lineup this afternoon because they are actually wired into the fair and are working very hard. There's Roger, a little foreign engine, playing the bowls effective, and a Fowler called Repulse, which is a blue engine there at the back of one of the rides. They are both working as hard as they did the day that they were sent out to their owners. Different colours, different makes, very ornate engines, lots of gold leaf, lots of brass, lots of copper, a beautiful maroon burgundy colour. Quite usually that's the colour of Showman's engines, so the Repulse is a blue engine. There is a story behind that, go and ask the family who have it. But these are the absolute epitome of the steam traction engine as it was in the UK. Huge amount of preparation in getting them ready in the day. It isn't just getting steam up, it's cleaning them. And certainly you can see the amount of brass and copper, certainly here. Thermite behind me, beautiful engine. A couple of these engines then, one of the first couple of occasions out with us. So we have Endurance here, which is owned by the Goddards, and Stuart Phillips and family who have Thermite right behind me here. These two engines, local engines to Shropshire, but very fresh out, this year. Superb restoration, but also engines, the other showman's engines that you can see if you're moving down towards the other side of the arena. Frank Lithgow and family is the Dreadnought, again an engine that's been with us for a long time, Mike Priest's Evening Star. So these are great Fowler and Borrell Showman's Road locomotives. In the middle, as you can see, if you're sitting where I am now, there's a little engine going away from this George Rogers and Sons Flying Airships. That is a Garrett steam tractor. So it's a Showman's engine again. It has a dynamo for providing light, but that would be pulling the smaller ones, things like side shows and hookers up and other things like that. Yes, Mr. Cook, I can see you taking pictures of me. I'll do you